Hello, this is William Bowman, and I'm recording this video for Mr. Carter over at Train My Dogs. Thank you so much for allowing me to record this video for you. So I want to explain exactly what I found on your website and show you some things that you can change in order to start getting some better results and some more volume heading your way. So in order to do that, I want to explain some things so that you have an understanding of how to implement the changes and be able to tell when the changes are actually working, because I mean, honestly, what we're after here is results, right? So I'm going to be covering the volume of clients looking for services in your specific area, what your top online competitor is doing to win that volume currently, and things you can do this exact moment on your site to start winning those clients in the future. So starting off, I looked through your site. I like your site, honestly. I love the pictures of the pups, especially ones with big smiles, on. It's a good looking site. You have the call to actions, the signs up, the contacts and all of that. Multiple different pages showing all your services. The only thing that I would mention is the secure. You definitely want to get your SSL certificate done with this little lock, as you see on most sites. The reason being is if you don't have this secure thing, what happens is when somebody finds you from another website or another page and they click to go to your site, a lot of times they're going to get a warning that says, warning, you're going to an unsafe portion of the internet, because it's not, what this SSL certificate does is it basically says that you're going to be encrypting data both to and from your website to your clients. So it's actually a lot less complicated than it sounds like to get. Just Google SSL certificate and you could probably find something that would allow you to quickly get this. It's just something that will scare off potential clients. The next thing that I kind of want to talk about is content. So definitely, if you can, please go ahead and create 1,000 to 1,500 words of content for this homepage, and make sure that the other pages have 300 to 500 words of content. And there's a specific reason to that. The reason is that you want to be able to fit more keywords in there without it seeming forced, without having to hide them behind too many of these pictures or anything like that. Keywords are simply just what somebody would throw into Google in order to find your service. So if we throw in dog training Austin, I'll show you the volume behind this later, but I want to show you kind of what happens before I start jumping into the breakdown of your competitor's site versus your site. So when we search this, the first thing we're going to see is ads. I'm glad to see you're not here, because a lot of people will just see the word ad and they'll just keep scrolling. No, but honestly, this is not a bad way to ramp up business, but it's not a good long-term solution because it can get pretty expensive, especially in a city like Austin. The next area is the Google Map Pack. This for sure is a big win. If you don't have this, definitely go set it up. It's very easy. Just go to Google My Business. Some people call it the GMB, and put in information about your business, the location, website. Make sure you put in that website tab. It helps you with ranking, phone number, address, and it gives you an area where people can leave reviews. Honestly, even if somebody knows the company that they're planning on using, they will still go to Google to check the reviews. So it's kind of like a requirement nowadays to have this set up. The next area is the Google basically organic search area. So this is just based off of whatever keywords were inputted and how well these sites rank up on Google's algorithm. So what I did is I skipped the list of 10 best and I went straight to the first company. And this is Austin Dog. Sit means sit. And they're a national company. You can see all of these. These actually are not hard to get. Some people think that they're pretty hard to get, but I'm not going to really get into that right now. But one thing I did want to notice is that they do have a lot of content. So they definitely have the 1,000 words for sure. So that was the one thing that I wanted to point out. But let's instead look under the hood and see what they're doing, right? So we're going to see all these different numbers. Don't be daunted by these numbers. I'm going to explain them all really quickly. So the UR and DR, these are very important measures. They're both from 0 to 100. The higher the number, the better. UR is the URL rating. It's kind of like the trustworthiness of the specific location or page. The DR is the domain rating. It's like the power or reputation of the entire site as a whole. Both of these numbers give you a pretty good measure of kind of how Google's going to rank you in comparison to other local businesses in your area, in your industry, right? So you can look at another site and you can tell that the numbers are usually below these, and that's why they're ranked below them. So the way to grow these numbers are going to be with backlinks. Backlinks a easy example for a backlink would be for you to consider like putting information on the BBB, the Better Business Bureau. Don't pay the annual fee or anything like that, but if you put your information there, excuse me, if you put your information there and you put a link to your website, that is a quick backlink. It's a link to your website from another site. A better quality backlink would be like if you could get a blog post written about dog training, and in that blog post be like, hey, if you need, training, go to Train My Dogs, and you put a link directly to your site, and it's a well-established blog, and they actually publish your article. That is a very high quality backlink, especially if it's a high quality post in your industry. So definitely, what I would recommend when building your backlink profile, if you look, they have, over 2,000 backlinks, and I didn't look at their backlink profile, but just by seeing that they have 2,000, yes, they have good numbers, but honestly, if all of these were really good backlinks, their numbers would be a lot higher. So focus on quality over quantity. I have seen, 20 to 50 good quality backlinks beat 1,000 or 2,000 poorly made backlinks. I'm not saying that all of these are poorly made, because honestly, they have decent numbers for being in this position. But their numbers would be a lot higher if all of these were high quality. So definitely focus on that quality when you're building it out. Now, let's go look at what they're actually ranking for, these organic keywords. First, you're going to see the keyword, then you're going to see the volume, the average amount of searches for this specific keyword every single month, and their position. I do want you to note the key KD is the keyword difficulty. The higher this number, the harder it is to appear in the top 10. Just in the top 10. It's not saying number 1 position, but the harder it is to be in the top 10 or the front page. So, dog training Austin. This is a good word. 450 people search that every single month. KD of 15 can be relatively difficult to beat, but you'd have to beat this specific page in order to rank into the number 1 position, since they are ranked. Oh, I'm sorry. You'd have to beat this page and that top 10 page. So that would be very difficult to beat, right? But you can also find other words, and you can find little gems hidden in here that have a low KD that could be easy to compete for. At least get yourself into the top 10 and slowly work your way up by getting that volume. And there's also some gems in here that, people may not be utilizing on their sites. You can just think of different ways to search. You can use Google AdWords as well if you are familiar with that, in order to find some different options for searching that could maybe yield you some decent results. Next, I wanted to kind of jump into your site and kind of see how you guys were comparing here. Looks like you have a UR and DR 10 to 12. Looks like your backlink profile is hopefully slowly growing. You're going to need definitely more backlinks like this in a city like Austin to compete. But the organic keywords, I wanted to jump into here. You definitely have some interesting ones, like Train My Dog Austin and Train My Dogs Austin. You guys are ranked number 1 and number 1 for these. That's decent volume of traffic, especially for dog training, because the cost of dog training can vary. So these are definitely gems. There should be some focus on some higher quality ones as well. So just, instead of focusing so much on, can I even beat these guys? I would just put the keywords in there, go ahead and start ranking for them, and really just focus on building out your backlinks and your content, along with that SSL certificate and your GMB if you don't have it. But I hope this information was helpful. I would love some feedback from you, letting me know how I did, if you're able to use this information or not. But thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great day.